Welcome back to iSPI Hacks, everybody. It's Sarah Ayers, Business Incubation Program Coordinator with Innovate Springfield. I'm really excited because today we've got Pam Schallhorn, Community and Economic Development Specialist with the University of Illinois Extension Office. She's going to be presenting part 3 of creating the virtual pop-up, and today she's talking about virtual packaging, so an essential component of the process. You guys, I'm going to pass the mic to Pam.
Thanks, Sarah. Welcome back to part 3 of creating the virtual pop-up. I'm Pam Schallhorn. In this part of the series, we're going to talk about virtual packaging and how important it is when you try to emulate that in-store shopping experience. First, let's start thinking about developing that e-commerce site. Regardless of where you link your virtual pop-up on a virtual market site, a Facebook Live event, or another platform, you're going to need to have a great e-commerce site where shoppers can go to purchase their product. Imagine for a moment that you're walking down an aisle in a shop. Packaging draws you towards that product. It creates desire. It is a large part of the shopping experience. How you package and display your products online is as important as it is if you were in your own storefront or market booth. Are you equipped to provide the best virtual packaging? You're going to need to capture attention, gain trust, motivate purchases, and generally all you're going to be using are videos, short videos, and high quality photos, and hopefully great product descriptions. I found this example. This website was designed by Candlecrest. Notice that the photographer has decided to use background photos to allow the consumer to virtually smell the product. Although we cannot taste and smell products online, this designer has used the background photos, such as the apple cider donuts, to allow customers to imagine the smell of the candle. I thought this was really unique, and it's something you need to think about. Stop for just a minute, look at this website, and think, what if it was just the glass jar candle? Now, you notice they do have the logos on here, so she has a branded display, which we had talked about in the last session. But if the backgrounds were simply white, or say another contrasting color, you're not going to be able to distinguish the scent of each one. In fact, basically, they'd all look the same. Those background photos are helpful in getting the opportunity for the consumer to actually imagine the smell of each one of these candles. Virtual packaging allows you to stand out from the competition like conventional packaging, and it's better for the environment. Photos and videos are key. Shoppers cannot handle that product, so you will need to provide them with at least 3 to 4 high-quality photos from multiple angles to bridge the information gap. And by the way, that #1 cause for returns is that people they're not able to see the size or the dimensions of the product. Keep your branding in front of the consumers at all times, as I mentioned on the previous slide. Make sure you create a branded display online because you want to reinforce your brand recognition at every opportunity. Using photos or videos of customers using the product has been shown to increase e-commerce sales 2 times and lower the number of returns. Videos also work, especially if you wish to demonstrate your product and some of its features. Think of creative ways to present your product online. First, keep your best products up front, but also always keep that site fresh by continually adding new products or changing out your photos. Make sure items are one of a kind or quantities are limited. Make sure you let people know that. This can be a motivator to buy, but it can also be a disappointment if they go to buy the product and it's no longer in stock. I can't stress product descriptions enough. And for anyone who's shopped online, I think you've also seen this in the past. You need an accurate product description and information. This is a major cause for your returns. Information should be included regarding your nutrition facts, ingredients, dietary benefits, and everything should be clearly listed. The dimensions or size of the product is important. The better you describe your product using words, videos, and high-quality photos, the less likely you will have returns and negative reviews. If the product needs to be assembled, make sure you let your customer know. Customer satisfaction is key to winning a place on the digital shelf. I think too often we think that our online shopping or our online shops are just sort of a sideline. You know, it's sort of something else that we're doing other than having our market booth or having a storefront. In reality, it's not a sideline, and it's certainly not a sideline anymore. So it's very important that you make sure that you have an e-commerce site that's going to meet your shoppers' expectations. Let's talk a little bit about pricing. You want to make sure that your prices are competitive. In order to do that, you need to visit your competitor's site on a regular basis. And while you're there, make sure that you're checking out their e-commerce site so that you can improve yours as you go along. But the one thing you want to make sure is you don't underprice. Just because your competitor can sell for that price doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for you. You need to take a look at your actual costs versus the price to ensure that you're going to be profitable. Don't rely on that competitor to do the cost analysis for you. Once you determine what your competitor's price is and what the actual cost versus price is for your shop, then you can decide what your price is going to be. But you definitely want to keep those prices competitive, especially online. You've got a lot of competition out there. Now remember, we're trying to replicate the in-store experience. So first, are you able to send samples? They don't have to be free. You can charge for them, but they should be easy to mail, and you want to make sure that they have low shipping costs. Next, make sure you get those customer testimonials. The more descriptive they are of your product, the better. And then make sure you include them on your website. Your photos must be exceptional. You may need to purchase some camera equipment and create ways to showcase product to make it more appealing. Remember, you are attempting to create an emotional connection with your consumer. When in doubt, take yourself back to when you're shopping in a store and how that in-store experience makes you feel. Can you make your customers feel like that on your e-commerce site? In part 4, we're going to discuss some tips for developing an e-commerce site. Thanks for joining.